Ooh, it says preparing to live stream the webinar. This is so
I'm
fancy.
so excited. Oh, it's now streaming on Facebook.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I know, this is so cool.
Oh, I can copy the streaming link.
Oh, we live.
Oh my gosh. Oh, hold on. Why's my face on the front?
All right. So let me come back over here so I can see y'all. So hello everyone out there in Facebook land. We have just concluded BrandCon 18, an online digital conference for creatives and entrepreneurs. This event has literally doubled, or a little bit maybe, doubled from last year. We had over 50 entrepreneurs and creatives attending this online conference. It was absolutely phenomenal, from branding with Johnny Benson to graphic designs with Naira Ratcliffe to social media with Jamar Diggs to public relations with Keisha Reynolds. It was just phenomenal. Like, I am super excited to share this content. It was recorded. We're going to go back and look at that and share that later this week. So if you want to learn more about what actually took place at BrandCon and to get your recorded copy, just go ahead and either send me a direct message, live stream, and we'll go ahead and get that link over to you today. So, hey y'all.
Okay.
Yes.
So we should. So you think that we should go ahead and get that link over to you today? So I have some. Oh, hold on. I'm lost in this thing.
You said, do you think we should do what?
Do you think that we should, while we like wait for people and stuff, do you think that we should just kind of like look at some of the questions that we didn't get to answer in the thing?
Yes. So give me 1 second. Let me see. I want to know if I can actually invite people in.
Oh yeah.
To this. I don't know if I'm able to do that. I'm so mad my light went out.
Oh no.
She was upset about this light.
The struggle.
my light bulb literally broke as soon as I was getting ready to come on. I'm like, what is happening?
Bruh, get it together.
So
so mad my light went out.
Oh no.
The struggle.
Yeah, I don't think I can actually invite anyone. I see Miss Kirsten Mathis. She's actually in here. She's attending.
Yes, you guys asked us some questions.
We actually have 6 people on right now. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead. If you all, as we're doing this, can invite some people in, that will be really good, who may need to know about this topic of branding yourself, anything related to graphic designs for your business, anything related to social media for your business, anything related to public relations for your business. We are live, just finished BrandCon 18, and we are ready to answer some of these questions. So we had like 60 questions at the end of the webinar, and we were not able to get to all of them. We answered 42 questions. So I am so glad that everyone was very attentive and asking questions and related to what it means to build their brand in 2018. We have 21 questions left over. So what we're going to do is just to go ahead and answer some of these questions that we did not get to in the conference, so that you all who are viewing this on Facebook, you may have some similar questions when it comes to your business or building your brand as an entrepreneur, or just you have these questions in general for public knowledge. So here's question number 1. How did using these tips positively impact your business? I don't know what tips they're talking about.
Are they talking about like everyone's collective tip?
We're going to go to the next question.
Okay.
So this is for Naira. I believe that my logo correlates with my brand, but I do think that I should consider sticking with the timeless Big 8 brand colors. So Naira, do you know what these Big 8 brand colors are?
I think she's referring to basically the color wheel.
Okay.
Yeah, basically
referring back to the big 8. So you have like orange, black, white, blue, yellow, red, green. Am I forgetting one? I'm forgetting one. And whatever main color that I missed. But I think she's referring to those, kind of making her brand connect back to, what those colors have that meaning, kind of connecting that with her current logo. So
okay, thank you. This one is also about logos. What is the standard number limit in regards to too many letters being in a letter form logo?
Well, as I broke it down, a letter form is basically singular. It's one letter. But it can also be considered an abbreviation, kind of like HBO, CNN. Some people within design can consider those as letter forms. Some people consider those as word forms. However, with a letter form, it is singular and or an abbreviation of what your company is. So if your company is Black Entertainment Television, then of course, like it's 3. As long as it's an abbreviation, an abbreviation isn't supposed to be long. It's supposed to be abbreviation. So it's really no technical limit, as long as it's abbreviation or it's singular.
Good stuff. Let's see. What was the hardest concept for you to grasp when you were first starting out with your business? So I guess this is for everyone.
Ooh. I'm gonna say this, and I think anybody could probably agree to this. The hardest concept for me starting my business was telling myself, Naira, you cannot do it all by yourself.
Woo!
So right there.
I think a lot of times in our head, we think we can be Superman, Superwoman. Oh, I can do the accounting. I can do the designing. I can do all the writing, the content. I can do this, this, and this. And sometimes God has placed certain people in your life or certain professions to hire or to partner in helping you do those things. And so I learned that, Naira, finance is not your thing, honey. Get you a bookkeeper. You're gonna be broke. Okay. So those are the hardest concepts I had to learn.
That's good. I think for me, the concept was pretty much the same. Being able to delegate those tasks and trusting that I can depend on the person that I'm giving this task away to. So I think that is a big piece with most entrepreneurs, because we feel like, oh, I can do this or I can do it on my own. But let me tell you, the power is in your tribe. People who are connected to you that you can outsource things to, like for existence like Naira. There are services or things that I want to do that I'm like, hey, Naira, like I just was on the phone with her the other day. Like I got this idea and I want to do this. Right. So that's that partnership between the two businesses where it's not like, okay, Keisha, you're going to make this happen. You have to do every single element in detail that goes into making this particular idea that you have come into fruition. So utilizing your tribe. But again, everything is about relationships. You want to make sure, as I said when I was talking about public relations, is that those relationships between one business person and another business person has to be something that's mutually beneficial. So Naira can turn around and ask me for something and I'm like, yes, let's make it happen. That's that partnership. That's that connection. The same thing with everyone else who was a part of this conference with Janine and with Jamar. If I have these questions, this is a tribe. We're building this tribe. Each of us are young, growing entrepreneurs. So we all want to see everyone do great. So making sure that your tribe is a tribe that you can actually depend on and that they can help you grow. And most importantly, that they can give you constructive criticism so that you can get better at what it is that you do. So, yeah.
So I have 2. Lord, because me starting out was it was a mess. But there's 2 things where you are not like hot stuff. Like don't think that you are just like this amazing like this high level person when no one really knows you and you just starting out. You have to work to get people to know you, to trust you, and to like you. And so you don't have to. So when I first started, I'm over thinking, it's a really good idea to teach people about social media and how to grow their business with online marketing. What I didn't know is that there's a trust issue there where some people don't they don't trust you if they gotta like really know, like, and trust you to to give you money and to want to like listen to what you have to say, which is why you have to put in the work, like make connections, go to speaking engagements, give free content so people can like kind of know what you're talking about and that they can really invest in you at a low level so that they will be more likely to give you money later on down the road. And then the second thing was to get over my imposter syndrome, where I keep on comparing myself to other people. I go down my line looking at all these people that got 1.3 billion followers, live in Canada, and they are just like, just living the dream because they are an entrepreneur. But that's all a joke because they've worked for all that stuff. And I'm like at the very beginning. And so I'm over here basing their like middle to almost end of their kind of like highest peak of their career to my like just starting out. And then I just start like, feeling bad and stuff. But now I've grown to know, like, you stop comparing yourself. You will get there when you get there, and start building your tribe now so that you can live that life and so that you can kind of accomplish those goals that you have in the future.
Absolutely.
I would say for me, the first, I guess mine is kind of twofold because I have two different customers. I have my partners because ultimately I'm trying to connect them to my consumers, and I have my consumers because I'm trying to make sure that they find the right product that works best for them. And so on the partner side, I had to learn that all money isn't good money, because ultimately everybody that is advertising with me, they're paying to be a part of this box. And so it had got to a point where, I had just quit my job. I was doing this full time. And, everybody was like, I want to be in this box. I want to be in this box. But I had to pretty much create a criteria, because it was like, listen, they are not serious about their brand. And what you hate to do is put them in this box and get it to a consumer, and then something happens to their hair. Like, you don't want them to have an experience, which pretty much sparked this whole, interest in this industry. You don't want anybody's hair falling out. So I had to pretty much develop a criteria that said, hey, if your brand isn't together, if you don't have a label on your product, I'm sorry, but I don't want your money. You need to go and fix it and then come back when you're ready to take your business seriously. So that was hard for me, because I'm like, man, I really don't want to turn this, advertising fee away. I got this bill to pay. But I also had to think about the vision. My ultimate goal is to be the #1 natural hair product and beauty distributor in the world. And how can they trust somebody if I'm just taking anybody's money to put them out there for what? Like, I had to pretty much tell myself, no, they need to get it right, and then they can come correct. And then the next thing was that I had to trust the process. Just like Jamar was saying, like, I would look at other people and I'm like, man, they're growing. How can I grow? And I love God, and he implanted this in me for a reason, and I pretty much had to focus on him and say, okay, God, you gave me this vision. I just need you to help me to stay focused on what you're doing. And I mean, look, we're almost 2 years later. And like I said, I don't even know when I got 10,000 followers on Instagram. That's crazy. I swear when I first started, I had like 70 people after like the first 3 months. So, I mean, it's all a blessing, but those are two things. You can't accept everything. All money isn't good money. And then the next thing is to make sure that you trust the process, for sure.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so this question is for Jamar. What are some common social media marketing mistakes businesses make?
Ooh, I love this. This is funny. And so that everyone is your customer. When someone asks you who is your customer and you say, well, everyone really, no, that's the common mistake. And I mentioned that in the, I really mentioned that in the conference earlier, that like, when you say everyone is your customer, you're just shooting content out at someone, and you don't even know if they really care about it. And then you're just wasting a lot of marketing dollars and time that you probably don't really have. But instead, if you just took some time and kind of honed in on who your target market actually is, put a name on them, like start checking out like what their behaviors are, and then really adapt your strategy to that, then you're strategically using your money the right way, and you're going to be starting getting a better ROI. So that's the one mistake, thinking that everyone is your customer. And then the second one is really just on posting the same thing over and over on your channels, and instead of really making that actual connection, which is, just showing pictures of people using your product like smiling. That just as something as simple as that. Instead of just showing your Shopify stock photo, start getting people in the photo with it, like using the products. Get people talking about the products. Start getting them to use like customer testimonials. Start making people feel your product accomplishes like the problem that it solves. I mean that it solves a problem, your problem. And so that's kind of one of the common mistakes, where you don't think about the social media channel as an actual social platform, and you start turning off that switch that tells you to start serving your customer, because you have to always serve your customer, especially when you're using social media, because these channels are not yours. And so what you need to be doing is using social media to convert them to an email list with content that will help them start building bonds with you.
Good stuff. Thank you, sir. All right, let's see. We're down to 16 questions, guys.
Ooh, good.
We're getting close. We've answered 47 questions. Okay. Let's see. Jamar, this is also for you. What is the best app to attract audiences of college students?
Okay, so everyone is going to say Snapchat, but but I'm going to say just use Instagram, maybe. Like, so, I mean, with me not knowing anything about like what your business is and who your audience like really is, then I'm probably going to say like the safest one will probably be Instagram, right? I wouldn't do Snapchat until you build up your Instagram following and you know exactly who you're talking to, and who you are really trying to appeal to and what kind of content they like. Because Snapchat is very hard to grow in audience too. So you could be spending all your time up on Snapchat and no one watching your stories. So what you could do instead is just focus up on Instagram and start posting content that's relatable to your user, and start finding them through there, because almost everyone has an Instagram now, and you can probably find them through different hashtags that are searchable. Like if you're at a college and university, you can start finding the branded hashtags that universities are sharing. Like for ODU, there's a hashtag ODU sports, there's a hashtag ODU monarchs, there's a hashtag ODU whatever department. Start following those hashtags, start engaging with people in that in that hashtag, and then start growing that following there, and then finding content that they really like, so that you can start pushing your brand story with like through it.
Thank you. There are a lot of social media questions.
Boy.
I'm gonna try to find another question. Yes. So how did the okay, gotta proofread. All right. How did your tips about building your brand positively affect your business? Johnny.
I was like, that's not to me.
I would really say when I was talking about building a strategy for branding, two words that I've really, bolded or, spotted out were attract and retain. So when you're building a brand, it's one thing to bring them in, but then once you get, the customer, the consumer, the target person that's interested in your brand, you have to retain them. In the way to retain them, it's ultimately how you're, building your brand, how you're keeping them entertained while they're with you. And so one of the ways that I had to quickly learn and I guess adjust to was through email marketing. It wasn't something that I had done before. But every time something was going on with the texture mix, if there was a new box, or when the list opens, when the list closes, if somebody's birthday, those are all some ways that I engage with my community. And so ultimately, that method or that channel of connecting with my community and my subscribers is how building my brand has really grown, to be honest. So I guess really finding your channel and sticking to it, being consistent with it is, I guess, my way of growing and building my brand.
Good. All right. So Instagram has recently changed their algorithm. how do you work around this in regards to getting your content seen and engagement up? Jamar?
How do you work around Instagram's algorithm?
Yep, to get your content seen and engagement up.
Okay, so you don't work around it, you deal with it. And you keep using the same tactics that people want to kind of like get your brand out there, which is, being relevant, being useful, and having a cohesive brand. So what that means is that it doesn't matter how many times the algorithm changes. If you are still giving out really good content, the people will find you. They will subscribe to you. They will keep following you. And so some of those things is where, like, yeah, Instagram probably changed their algorithm, but they also put a lot of new features on Instagram that you could use. Like now you can follow hashtags. You can create highlights of Instagram stories that live up on your profile. And so you can make that and just make core pieces of content all in story like form that will live forever. You can even archive your Instagram stories automatically now, right? So you can use them at any time. You still have that content, so you can spend more time up on your story content and it not just disappear within 24 hours. So just use the features that you do have. There isn't really a workaround. Just keep staying true to the regular stuff, like using hashtags. You can use up to 30. Make sure you do some hashtag research, which is like searching for relevant hashtags that aren't too popular. Like maybe. So what I normally do is keeping your hashtag volume to at least 200,000 entries. If it's above that, then don't use it. Find some other one that is more relevant too, because that way your content is actually having a chance to get seen, instead of you doing hashtag beauty bloggers that has 1 million posts in it. You is not going to get seen. And and that's maybe what they're doing now, but they're blaming the whole algorithm. Like, no, you blame yourself, because you all these hashtags that are just so like filled with other content.
Yes.
that is not being seen. So so don't worry about the algorithm. I haven't, and I'm doing just fine. I'm at BrandCon, okay?
Brands up at BrandCon 18. All right, Naira, this one is for you. So what would you recommend for ads? Bright colors, pictures, etc., or like picking a face for it as far as celebrities? So in relation to graphics for ads.
Okay. Is somebody, I thought somebody was saying something. Honestly, in regards to what she's saying, it all boils back down to what is your brand's personality, what is the tone of your brand, because there's a lot of companies you don't see that's going to use big and bold and bright colors because it does not fit within what their brand is. So it goes back down to, and I think that is the point that a lot of people are missing within branding and within social media, within so many things. It's the research part. It's the writing down and really understanding, what does your business do? Who does your business serve? And that's why it's so confusing when it comes down to trying to figure out, okay, what type of marketing? How do I do social media? How do I handle the graphic design? Because they don't really understand those core pieces. So you really have to understand what is your brand's personality. Does your brand have a more bright, colorful type personality, or is it more conservative? Because if you see an ad for Ford, you're not going to see big, bold green colors. You're going to see more dark blue, white, gray type of coloring, which is their brand. So that person needs to focus on, okay, what is my brand? And for texture mix, you wouldn't really see, well, I can't really speak on your brand, but just for example, say if she was just primarily speaking to natural women, you wouldn't see her post Cardi B on there with some flat perm hair with some weave, and just like, you would hear that doesn't fit within her brand's personality or anything. So consulting a celebrity or somebody or an influencer, you have to make sure that they align with what your company is trying to convey. What message are you conveying?
Yeah.
So it just boils down to that, honestly.
That's good. That's really good. Thank you. Jamar, people are really interested in this social media topic. So
it's a hot button issue.
I
okay.
What is the best app to attract? Oh, I'm sorry. I answered that question already. I didn't remove it. Not that one. Okay. So, question for Jamar. What are some common social media mistakes? No, we answered that one too. They asked this question twice. All right. So, we only have 8 more questions. Any suggestions on weekly inspirational short videos that will build engagement on social media?
Short inspirational videos that will build engagement on social media, like on social media.
Yeah, so just any shorts, weekly inspirational videos that will build your engagement with your particular audience base. So I guess on any social media platform in general, or tell us which platforms does video perform well, and then answer that question.
Okay, perfect. So video is going to be, so video does super well on Facebook, and even Facebook Live is going higher than regular Facebook video. So if you're looking to do video, I would highly encourage them to first start out using it and testing it on Facebook and YouTube, and then kind of migrating down to Instagram for inspirational videos. Now, for inspirational content just in general, Instagram is like that place. And if you don't have like the budget to really do inspirational videos yet, like if you're not a speaker or a mentor, like a motivational person, I would just do Instagram and like inspirational graphics, not video. And because those are going to be doing so much more better anyway. Because so when it comes to engagement on Instagram, photos or graphics get more likes than video. Videos get more watches, of course, and also comments. But if you want like likes, then you're gonna just want to stick to like pictures and graphics. So if you're trying to just kind of like evoke that that motivational aspect of like your business, then just stick to a quote on Instagram. But then if you want to make like a motion graphic for Facebook, that's fine.
Okay, good. So in relation to that one, how often do you recommend posting on social media? And are there any direct times when I should interact with my customer?
If you were to Google this, there'll be a blog that's selling a social media tool that tells you what times to post. And I'm just going to tell you that there isn't really a dead time to post your content. Everyone sees your content differently. And so I think I mentioned this in the conference where I just say to test out what works for your actual pages. It's not the actual like fun and like sexy way to like kind of like do it, but it's kind of like the hard part of social media where you have to kind of find out what is your rhythm, like what works well for your community, because each community is different. So like Nike can post as many times as they want and still receive engagement, but they still have some peak times that work for them. Your frequency and your times are going to be much more different than like Nike and I don't know, Kroger or anything like that, any higher level brand or any regular brand. So you have got to just test it out first and then track your success.
Good. All right, continuing on with our social media questions. We're down to 5 questions. 4 more are related to the topic of social media. And then there's one question that we're going to conclude that is a question that each of our panelists will be able to answer. And then we will get off of our BrandCon Live after party. Woo! All right, so we hope that these questions are some questions that are answering some questions that you may have for your business as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, as a freelancer, or as someone who just has general questions about branding, graphic design, social media, and public relations. So we've answered 58 questions. Most of those questions were within the conference, and then we came out of the conference to answer 21 more questions with the Facebook Live BrandCon after party. And we hope that you are enjoying this. So 5 more questions. Please stick around. It will really bless your life and help you to grow your business, especially this hot topic of social media for your business. Okay, Jamar, what software program do you use in regards to editing your YouTube videos?
Okay, so the ones that I do myself, I use iMovie. Like if I just want to shoot a video on my phone or on my camera and just like post it and like kind of like just clean it up a little bit, I use iMovie. I'm not sure. I know that there's another version for PCs. I don't know that one because everything I own is Apple. I'm like just but yeah, so I will use iMovie. If anyone on the panel like my PC version, please let everyone know.
I also do like audio editing and also like video editing as well. And two primary things that I tend to use is Adobe Premiere and also Final Cut, which is really easy to kind of like edit video. For people who are kind of like inexperienced, with doing like editing videos, Final Cut will be super easy. Final Cut and iMovie are like the easiest ones. Premiere, if you're real technical, go to Premiere.
So Final Cut Pro, Premiere, or iMovie. I am very, very basic when it comes to like my videos, and so I use that. Now that's for like the actual ones of me just like standing up and like talking like on a whim. But I do for like my other like kind of like series form of videos. I end up hiring a freelance videographer for that.
Yes. So some free resources as well as some paid resources are available for you when it comes to software. I'm going to say to start where you are. So if you don't have a big budget where you can't afford some of these softwares, or you can't hire someone who does video for you, like Jamar just mentioned, iMovie. If you have any type of Apple product, you already have this service that is available to you. So go ahead and just begin to play around with it. If you have any of the services that Naira mentioned and you need to learn more about it, go to YouTube and teach yourself how to use it. I recommend that each person have some type of camera that you can use so that you can build your own content. And then when you get to the place where you want to hire out someone, or you have a budget where you're able to hire out that person, then you utilize that person. So thank you so much, Jamar and Naira, for answering that question. All right. So a lot of people struggle to find what they want their brand to represent. What process did you go through to set a solid brand for yourself? So I feel like anyone can answer this question, actually. But we'll start with Janine.
I think that's hard.
She in her own world over there.
Listen, I was trying to like record it and like shit. Taught me. Man, I don't even know how to explain. I mean, I guess I'm speechless because I never saw myself doing this. Like I never. If you were to go back to freshman Janine in college, this was not my dream. So I'm literally, this is a faith walk. I had an experience with my hair falling out. I wanted to help people be more aware about what to use. I realized that there was trouble with distribution of natural hair products. And I figured I have this degree in business. I have this passion for natural hair. Let me combine them. And that's kind of how my journey started with distribution. And the texture mix, my mind, I don't know about some of you guys, but whenever you have this vision in your head, you can see that big thing. And I saw distribution, but I didn't know how I would get there. So, one of my friends actually told me, Janine, you're going to have a subscription box. Like I had a dream about it. And I was like, girl, I don't think that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get to the warehouse type. I don't really know about no subscription box. And she was like, no, I'm telling you. I was like, well, if God reveals that to me, then, I'll do it. Well, you should watch what you ask for, because like a month later, I had a dream that was so clear. Like I saw this box design. I saw my website. I saw like boxes on porches, like in this dream. It was so crazy. Like I can still see it to this day. So immediately after I woke up, like I just started like writing down everything that I saw. And I just, got on Canva, started putting some things together just so I could see it again. Cause you see it, once, when God reveals it to you, and then you see it again in reality. And that's what makes it so. Ultimately that process, he planted the seed, he made the way. I'm just, I'm in it, and I'm in it for him. So ultimately, I guess that's how I discovered how I would brand my business. It's just going with what he told me to do.
That's good. I'm gonna piggyback on that. That phrase that we do not like to use.
I know.
But so for me, when it came to building my brand and building a solid brand, God gave me the vision for K&R Communications in 2012 when I had just moved back home to Detroit after graduating from Ferris State University. And when I say that God gave me this vision, y'all, I had a dream journal at that particular time, and I still have this dream journal until this day, where I wrote down exactly what K&R Communications is today, exactly what K&R Communications was going to do, the services we were going to render, the clienteles that we were going to serve. It was everything, the mission statement, the vision statement. I put that in my dream journal. And I had the idea of like, okay, all right, I can't do this. I'm just going to go ahead and get me a job, because it has been ingrained in us, particularly in this Black community, that you go to school, you get a good job. You go to school, you get a good job. That's what you're supposed to do, right? But for me, I definitely think that it was different for me. So I always told myself I wanted to go and get my master's degree, and I always told myself I was going to Virginia. And people always said, well, why do you want to go to Virginia? Why do you want to go to Virginia? And I've been saying this since I was 15 years old, okay? And I had no idea why I needed to be in Virginia, but like Janine said, God places something on your heart for a reason. It is your obligation to carry out the task of which he has placed on your heart. If you do not do that, then you are doing yourself an injustice, and you're not being obedient to what God is telling you to do. So with that, the vision for K&R Communications came in 2012. K&R Communications did not come to be until 2015. Okay, it took a few years to get here. But literally, when I was sitting down and I was writing down everything for my company, what my company is today, when I was drafting all that stuff up, I found my dream journal and I looked inside of it and I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
I want to piggyback off of Keisha.
But hold on, wait, Jamar, wait. Let me say something else. But I definitely think stepping out on faith is what is going to help you to build your brand. And as I mentioned earlier in the conference, is that you consistently create opportunities for yourself to succeed. So even if no one is coming to you as this expert right now and you're just starting out, you go to the places where your services are needed. You render those services. You do some things that are pro bono. You build your portfolio. Eventually, those things will turn into longevity clients. So that's how you build a solid brand. You just do what's on your heart for you to do because you already have the gifts and the talents to do it. You have to cultivate those things. So go ahead. We getting ready to shift over to Jamar because everybody got to shift.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This whole conference plan and I've been shifting into position. Okay. No, but so with me, like I've always, I think to piggyback off of what Keisha said, I think I've always been conditioned to, go to school, get a good job, go to school, get a good job. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. Like you had to go into like the corporate world. And so when I got there, like right after I graduated, I kind of like was in there for a year. And then I was like, oh, I don't think I want to be in corporate life anymore because I started seeing that, like, there's so much red tape. You have this like amazing brain and then you don't really get to use it because you got a boss, your boss got a boss and boss got a boss. And then you just there like, hey, you just like, time to get my check. And so, but I started to realize, but I really wanted to help people and I couldn't help my corporate clients with social media the way that I really, really wanted to. Like, and so I was like, oh, well, how can I do it? Like, there is no other way. But then I was like, well, there is a way. You can go and make your own business, and that's what I did. And so now I get to like help people because I knew that I wanted to help people with online marketing in some kind of way because no one knew how to do it when I was in college. And so I'm like, there's this need. I really want to help them, and I know that whenever I do build my brand, I want it to be something that someone can trust. They don't think that I'm just trying to like get their money. They can like actually like kind of trust that everything that I'm saying is proven and tried and true and custom to them, not like me like using this thing and then copying it for some other business.
good. Naira, you want to jump in?
I'll just say I'm going to piggyback off Janine, Keisha, and Jamar. But no, like truly, I think I'm a living testimony when Keisha says to create your own opportunities. I recently graduated college, actually last year, and I went to school primarily for journalism. Believe it or not, journalism, and then I switched it to marketing because I was like, no, I don't want to be in front of the camera. Like, I want to be the one creating. I want to be the person, like, you know, doing all that good stuff. And so I switched to marketing. And so once I graduated, I told myself I felt like sometimes you have that gut feeling and like God is telling you, I need you elsewhere. But sometimes when you are so used to your environment and you live in fear, sometimes it's hard for you to step outside of that. And I was a young girl and none of my family members had never moved off really. And it was just like, oh my God, I just want to go to Charlotte. Didn't know why. Okay. I just knew, Lord, I got to be in Charlotte. And so fresh upon graduating, about a few months after, I ended up making one of the most quickest decisions ever. One of those days I say, you know, I'm just going to move. I didn't think about it, y'all. I didn't strategize. I didn't ask questions.
Yes.
That goes back to what Janine is saying, having faith. And sometimes we are professors of faith, but we don't really walk in faith. And so at that moment in my life, I knew I was coming into adulthood and I didn't want the 9-to-5 anymore. I didn't want it. And I ended up moving to Charlotte, believe it or not, with some struggle, but I got to Charlotte. And I got to Charlotte about a month later after I spoke it into the universe. And once I got to Charlotte, of course, I had to get me a job. And I kind of realized within working those jobs that I wasn't happy. And I couldn't tell why I was so unhappy, but I knew God had a reason for me being here. And so, you know, I kept calling my mom and so forth. And I was like, Mom, like, I want to have my own business. I told my dad, I said, I'm going to have my own business. But of course, your parents, they're just kind of like, okay, well, hold on. It's going to happen for you. It's going to happen. And, you know, that's when I switched into my job working with web.com. And I learned so many things as far as marketing and so much, y'all, like so much. But yet I wasn't happy. I was not happy. And so finally, one of my friends, which goes back to Keisha, when she speaks about creating opportunities and networking and having that circle and that partnership, one of my friends introduced me to a friend who lived in Canada. And basically, she was willing to pay me so much money to basically handle different things as far as graphics, branding, and so much for her stuff. And to me, I'm like, oh my God, I'm fresh out of college. I don't really know what I'm doing. She's paying me all of this or whatever like that. And, you know, my mom reminded me, she's like, God would have never gave you this if he didn't want you to move somewhere. So move. And so I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm going to quit my job. She was like, do it. And if y'all know my mom, she's not the type of take a risk person. She's not. She's more like, go out there. She's more like, no, stay with the job. Da, da, da. But when she told me that, y'all, I said, okay. I quit my job. I didn't put in no 2 weeks notice, nothing. Okay? Not joking, y'all. I didn't put in a 2 weeks notice. I just said I said, I'm not going. And that day, when I tell you, as Janine said, when God plants a seed in your life, when I tell you, go with it. And ever since then, when I tell you I had clientele flying out of nowhere to the point I could not manage it, to the point where I cried to God and I said, God, I need a team now. Less than a year. So whatever you're going through now, I'm telling you, God can change within a year. I'm telling you. So if you want to start that business, go ahead and start that business, no matter what age you are. If you're fresh out of college, if you're in college, go for it. And so it's nothing to branding. When you have that vision, you just go with it because it's a learning experience, and stop trying to not fail. And that's our problem. We try not to fail when the point is to go into it failing, because that's the only way you're going to learn to be effective in what you do. And so that's what I had to do. Like, I'm still failing. Okay. Even on this, I'm failing.
Come on. Yes.
Experience. It's exciting. It's supposed to be unknown. It's supposed to be a roller coaster. And that's what I wanted for my life. And so ever since then, I never looked back. And so now I'm sitting here young as ever, you know, and, you know, with my own business, I created my own opportunity. I stopped looking for other people, like, you know, Jamar said, because I want to do my own thing. I got my own method. Like, I think I could do something better, you know? And so that's what I went into. So Nike, just do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey. yes. That's good. That's good. Like, that's it. We can end the whole live right there. Okay. if you ain't getting nothing from that little message right there, like, that's good. Right. Step out on faith, y'all. Do what is planted in you to do. So we have 3 more questions. How can I expand my business following on social media to reach a bigger audience, to reach a bigger target audience?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
How can I expand my business following on social media to reach a bigger target audience?
A bigger target audience.
Probably say larger target audience.
Okay, so I'm not, I would say the easy way would say, well, post more, put out more content, do more things and make more connections. That's what I would say to do. But I also kind of want to challenge the fact that, are you saying that you need a larger audience because you're not producing the right content for your right now audience? Because I think that's what the problem is. The problem is not how big your pool is, it's the quality that you're putting in it. So what I would do is I feel like I might plug in this idle customer thing like so much, but what I would do is really find out who you're talking to and what is like the behavior and the qualities that you're looking for an ideal client, and then focus on that. Because when you start putting out content that is related to like this one type of person, they will show up for it. Instead of you trying to cast a wider net. The job for marketing is for you to be as niche as possible, because that is what you want to do. The niches is how you win. Because after the niche, when you create a really good niche for yourself, you know exactly what they like, and you can even charge more for it, or you can have a more quality product for it.
Yeah, and I think you said something earlier that was really good too, was research. Research and doing polls with your audience to see if you are actually meeting their needs when it comes to the social media marketing that you're doing, because your audience will tell you if you're doing something that they love, and they will tell you if you're doing something that they do not love. They're very transparent. In this world of social media, people will be very social when it comes to your brand. So you can just simply pose a question. Am I serving you well on this platform? Or as we stated earlier, moving those people from social to your own tribes offline, where you're able to ask them direct questions individually and get those individualistic answers back. But as simple as doing a poll on your social media platforms to ask if people are being served well as it comes to being a follower or a member in any group or social media platform that you have. So just ask your audience, your target audience, what is it that they want? And people will literally tell you what it is that they want.
Is that easy?
Yes, what it is that people want. So just ask them what they want, and then do that exact thing, and you give them what they want. And then again, like Jamar just said, that's your niche, right? So now you just capitalize on that, and that will eventually continue to grow your followers, because like-minded people associate with one another. And that just is a stepping stone to getting you to increase your followers, your audience on social media. So very good. Last question about social media.
Woo!
Would you suggest to have 2 separate social media accounts, or one professional account and a personal account?
Oh.
This was our topic last night, Jamar.
Ooh, it was, Lord. Okay. So I'm sorry. Okay. Let me get it together, because this question is really easy to answer. So first things first, if you are reckless on social media and you are really focusing on your personal brand and you're taking your personal brand seriously, also shameless plug, Keisha's having a course, okay? And if you're looking to if you are looking to keep your personal branding like a good quality thing, and you don't have it right now, I would make your business and your business and personal separate. Like draw that line there if you want to keep posting crazy stuff up on your social media. Make it private and just call it a day. But if you, I would encourage you to kind of like challenge that and kind of push yourself in the direction of you are your business, you are your brand. You just got to own up to it. Like when you have your own business, you expose everyone to it because you don't know who, like where they're going to contact you from. And so sometimes it probably doesn't make sense for you to have like a personal and a business one. On Facebook, yeah, you really have to. You have to have a personal page and a business Facebook page. But for Instagram, you can really choose what you want. Like so for Instagram, for example, if you are a blogger and your blog and your blog is jamardiggs.com, I'm not going to have a jamardiggs.com blog, Instagram, and my Jamar Diggs Instagram account. That's just too much, really, because you're just separating your people even more. You're just kind of splitting more hairs than what you have to do. And because keep in mind, like you have to keep up the content on each page too. And so for business purposes, I think the question is how do you want your brand to be seen? Is it more of you? Or is it more of like a service or product that you're offering that you got to make more human? So is it more about you, or is it more about the people that you're serving? Like, are you Walmart or are you like jamardiggs.com? Hope that makes sense.
Yes, that's good. All right, we have finally reached our last question. So far we have answered a total of 62 questions. Most of those were answered inside of the conference, and then we took 21 questions to Facebook because we believe that these may be some common questions that you have as an entrepreneur, small business owner, or just questions that you have in general that you would like to know about branding, social media, graphic designs, and public relations, as well as a little bit of mix of some personal stories that we've also been able to share with you. So I hope that this is tremendously blessing your life in this 9 o'clock hour. So our last question is, for any of the panelists, what made you want to master and learn more about your field? Good. That's a good question. So anyone can kick that question off. What made you want to master and learn more about your field?
Okay, I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and kick it off. As far as graphic design, it was one of those things that I had already knew how to do, kind of. It was really mediocre at first, but I was always like the go-to person from different people. Hey, I need a flyer. Hey, I need this. Hey, I need that. Hey, can you do this? And so it was kind of in my mind, like, nah, this is something you really like doing on the side. So why not make it an actual business? And so I have grown to learn that in today's age, when it comes to branding and social media and design and so forth, this is more like, it's a growing industry. It's a really growing industry that a lot of people need. I'm sorry. It's just a thing that a lot of people need. And in addition to hair, I'm sorry. In addition to hair, it's a really high and growing industry. And I don't think, honestly, it'll die out because everybody ain't gonna be able to do a flyer. And some people ain't really good with social media. You still have a lot of people who are getting into the social media age. I don't think I'll ever be good at hair. So yeah, Janine, I'm gonna really need you on that mix.
Come on.
I can't. I'm hiring Keisha. I can't do that. Okay, but I really want to master it because that creativeness. I love being able to take words from people and be able to turn it into something visually appealing. And it's just something interesting. You know, it's like a hobby, and it's something that you love to do that you can do hours and hours of it and not get tired because you love what you do. And that's why I really want to master the skill. Like I want to work with people from entrepreneurs to people who don't know what they're doing to people, commercial businesses and so forth. So that's why I chose.
That's good. That's good. Anyone else?
I can say something.
Okay.
So I know so I realized that I wanted to pursue social media when I, as I mentioned before, I thought that I was just made to just be in the corporate world and just go to the conference rooms, have the conference calls, do all the boring stuff. And but it wasn't until I was dropping all these gems inside the conference room and we weren't doing nothing with them. And I was like, well, is this all that there is to do? Like, who else can I help? And so I found out that, like, there's always like a need for someone that doesn't know how to do social media, and sometimes they aren't given the right information. And so I kind of took it as my job in life to kind of educate people on social media to do it the right way. Like, let them know that it's another form of marketing. It actually is marketing. It's not just fun type of stuff. It's like a strategy behind it, and just kind of educating them that you have to work on it just like how you work on your sales. And so yeah, I realized that my brain worked well with social media and making connections and making a strategy around it. And I was like, oh, this can be monetized and not just full-time corporate life.
Yes.
Let me go ahead and make JDiggs Media. And that's what happened.
That's good. That's good. Johnny?
Trying to think, like, what's the best way. I like this motivational speaker, and now I'm like drawing a blank. He's like my favorite. Oh my God, what is his name? This is crazy.
Les Brown?
Not Les Brown. Devon Franklin.
Okay.
I follow Devon Franklin. He's a motivational speaker and pastor. And I was listening. I like to listen to, whenever I get my moment, I like to listen to him to get me back up. And he said something that kind of resonated with me. And I just, anytime I'm like, I'm feeling like I'm burnt out, or, I don't know what my next solution is. I remember these words that he said. And he said, there are souls attached to your assignment. Mm. And that made me think, like, if I don't do this, somebody out there is going to suffer. If I don't get up and answer these emails, if I don't get out here and learn more about how to put my business out there, if I don't get out here and figure out, which products are best to recommend, somebody's going to lose out. Somebody might not be feeling confident right now about how their hair looks. Somebody might be feeling like, forget this natural thing, I'm going back to the creamy crack because nobody out here knows how to help me take care of my hair. And so, thinking about the idea that somebody's going to give up, that gives me the motivation to want to learn more, and to want to get out here and do more research so I can reach them. Like Jamar said, it's not about getting a bigger pool. It's about identifying those people that need you, finding your niche and really, zoning in on those people, because if you don't do it, somebody else will. And it's not to say that somebody's going to do it as good as you can because God's giving you that gift. So I would say that ultimately, knowing that I don't want people to miss out on what God has, for them, that is what makes me want to learn more to master my field.
All right. So for me, what made me want to learn more and master my field is, so my biggest driving force is the idea of creating and establishing a legacy for generations to come, as well as establishing what generational wealth looks like and cultivating entrepreneurship in my bloodline, so that there is opportunity where it's like I don't have to go and do a 9-to-5, but yes, as a child, we have these gifts and we have these talents and all these things and these amazing ideas that kids have that can turn into businesses that can ultimately support them as they go away to college, that can ultimately become a student organization that can ultimately become a nonprofit organization that can ultimately employ them. So like that is so that is, that is what has always been my driving force. I knew that there's something in me, like Johnny has said, there's something in me that I have to bring forth. My goal and my mission in life is I don't want to leave this place empty. Or I want to leave this place empty. So Lord, allow me to be in the right position at the right time so that I'm able to pour out everything that you have given to me. So if I'm mastering what my craft is, then the Bible tells me that my gift will make room for me. So that is how I'm able to advance in my field and in my career. But first, there had to come knowledge for each and every one of us. We all mentioned that we went to school. that was the knowledge, that was the learning. We learned a lesson while we were in those 4 years. We learned what we like to do, what we don't like to do. And God was able to reveal to us what we needed to do in that moment. So it's just taking that and capitalizing on that and mastering that. You don't have to have a master's degree. Like, I got a master's degree. That's great. But mastering that craft that you say that you do and do it well. So attending things like BrandCon, attending webinars and conferences that are in your field, going out and, like, if you're a photographer, you just create photo shoots on your own so that you can get better. If you're a writer, you continue to write so that you can get better. You master that thing. You learn more about that thing so that you again become the expert for that particular area that you're in. So that brings us to the end of BrandCon 18. This is the end of BrandCon 18. I am so humbled that this event was a success. I am humbled that I was able to bring on 3 tremendous individuals to be a part of BrandCon 18. I see this thing growing and becoming something that is beyond my dreams. And I'm glad I was able to connect with Jamar, Janine, Naira to bring this forth. Like, the energy that is in this group, I want to make sure I keep that. So we will be coming back, if they say yes, in 2019 to do BrandCon again and make sure that this is something that is bigger and better and that we're continuing to grow. This is just an idea that I had, right? Creating your own opportunities. Idea that I had last year. And it was something that was amazing. Or we only had it was like 12 people last year. And this year we had 50 people. So, just pushing forth with what it is that needs to take place. So again, this is the end of BrandCon 18. I want each of my panelists to go ahead and let people know how they can connect with you, as well as what is the service that you offer to individuals. So Jamar, go ahead.
Hey, all right, y'all. So if you want to reach me in any way or like follow me, it's at Jamar Diggs, JamarDiggs, on all social platforms. I offer social media and brand strategy services for entrepreneurs and creative entrepreneurs of any sort. So we go dive deeper into building that ideal client and like seeing what that looks like, right? And then we start building strategies on how do you better serve them so you can start making more money, making a community, and growing to getting those goals that you want accomplished. And so JamarDiggs.com, at Jamar Diggs on Twitter, Instagram, on Facebook. And if you just need some social media help, just talk to me, basically.
Oh, I
get Janine.
I think Naira's gonna go. I can go. Go ahead, Naira.
Oh, Naira.
Passing the hot potato. You all can follow me on my personal page at A Dozen Roses. That's with the RHO. So it's A Dozen RHOSES. And you can follow my business's Instagram page at Notable Designs. That's with a K. The K is silent. And that's KNOTABLE Designs. You can also visit us at notabledesigns.com. And something that my business primarily focuses on is helping your business with creative direction, in addition to branding and marketing strategy, primarily through graphic and illustration services. So if you guys ever need a website, flyers, logos, you guys can definitely contact my business and we'll get you right.
Good stuff. Miss Janine.
All right. You can follow me at The Texture Mix, if I can pull it up here.
Okay.
Let me find some with my name on it.
At The Texture Mix, or use the hashtag Get Your Own Mix to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope. But The Texture Mix is a monthly subscription service that offers the best combination of new and emerging natural hair products. So hopefully we can get products that you've never seen before in the shelf directly to your door. You can tell us all about them. And then if you want to connect with me personally, I love to help entrepreneurs on a daily basis. You can reach out to me at I am Janine. That is IAMJOHNENE. But if you follow the texture mix, you'll see me on there, so you can follow me from there as well. So I hope that I can connect with you on that side of the internet going forward. Thank you, Keisha, for the opportunity.
Yes. So I am Keisha Reynolds, CEO of K&R Communications. K&R is a digital public relations firm that specialize in working with small businesses, churches, and nonprofits to help to grow and advance your brand, particularly in the digital realm. So what I love to do is I am going to begin to maybe brand myself as an idea consultant, because I have learned that I take ideas, little seeds, and make them into big trees. So
Big
what
trees.
my brand does, we help businesses from their infancy stage all the way up to they get to the point where they need that public relations and getting out to the public through those relationship exposures that we talked about in the conference. So I am a brand and digital marketing consultant. So anything that is related to your brand, building your brand, as well as your digital marketing, I am the person that you can reach out to, as well as some of my colleagues on the webinar. So if you need to connect with me, you should connect with me. Go ahead and go over to Instagram. I am on Instagram at _Keisha K. That's KEISHAKAY _Keisha K, as well as Jamar. I'm not gonna lose you right now. As well as follow my business page at KR Communications. That's KR Communications on Instagram. So I hope that this live after party, BrandCon after party Q&A session was able to help you with some common questions when it comes to your business, in the topics of branding, graphic designs, social media, and public relations. Thank you for joining our after party for BrandCon, and we hope to see you next year for BrandCon 19.
Bye-bye.
BrandCon 18 was tremendous. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, and have a
Everybody.
great night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.